All right, so today we're going to learn how to add polynomials together. All right, so that's our learning target. Before we get going today, we're going to take a look at this picture. All right, so today we're going to say how many ounces does the vase on the right hold? Remember the one on the left held 11 ounces. Okay. So our essential question is, how do I add polynomials? And a couple of things that we're going to go through is, first, we need to know what like terms are. So you should have learned this in your pre-algebra days, but let's review. So like terms are terms with the same variables, that means the same letters, raised to the same power or exponent. Okay, so that means if they both have a y in them, they have to both be raised to the same power, like to the third power, to be able to add. Okay, if they are not like terms, then you cannot put them together. Okay, so this can work with one variable or two variables. Most of what we'll do is with one variable, so then you're really going to be looking at your exponents. Remember, these are variables, okay, x's, and these things are exponents, okay? So kind of keep that in mind. All right, so then if they are the same, then you can put them together, or you can combine that. We call that combining like terms. Okay, so now we're going to look at our variables. They're the same, and the exponents are also the same. So anything with the same variable, same exponent, you can put together. They have to be exactly the same. So because these are both x squared, then what you can do is you can look at the coefficients and you're going to put them together. Now this is a -3, so I'm really going to say 5 minus 3. So what is that? That's 2. So you're really only going to mess with the coefficients. So this is 2, and then x squared. Okay, this and this are not going to change when you put these together. Okay, the only thing that's going to change is this coefficient. Okay, so that would be 2x squared. All right, so now this works if you have multiple variables. They just have to be in the exact same order. So here I have m squared n. This is also m squared n, and so is this. Notice they're exactly the same, so that means I can put their coefficients together, okay? So I'm going to, I guess when you do this, you want to kind of look at the sign in front and see what you're doing. So you're going to go 10 plus 4, that's 14, and then 14 minus 8 is 6, right? So I'm really going 10 plus 4 minus 8. That gives me 6. So 6 what? 6m squared n. And that would be my answer, okay? So those are combining like terms. You need to know what those are and what like terms are. Okay. I jumped to C because that was a little bit different. In part B here, this one, notice all of these have a p in them, okay? But they have to be raised to the exact same exponent. That one's to the third, this one's to the second power, and this one's to the third. So like terms, exact same variable, exact same exponents. So the ones that I can put together would be these two. I should put that plus sign in there. I can put these together. So 12 plus p to the third plus 8p to the third. 12 plus 8 is 20 p to the third. Okay. And now I'm going to cross those out because I combine those. And now this is 11p squared. I can't combine that because these are not the same, right? Different exponents. So this would be as far as I could write. That's as far as I could get. 20p to the third plus 11p squared. This is called combining like terms. Okay, like terms, same variables, same powers or exponents. Okay. All right. So now we're going to learn how to add two polynomials together. Polynomials will be written in parentheses. In order to write this or to add them, you're going to drop the parentheses. You're going to combine like terms. Remember, your exponents won't change when you're combining, just your coefficients. And then you're going to make sure your answer is in standard form at the end. And I'm going to give you a tip to kind of make sure that it will be. on the way down, so as you're working through this. Okay, so let's do this. Now, I have the directions on the right. This is something you could do. If you see directions in a video, you might want to pause the video, take a screenshot, and then paste it into your assignment so that you just have the directions or the steps with you at all times. Okay. All right, so let's add these polynomials. All right, so now step 1, you can see here it says to drop the parentheses. That's what it says. So the first thing I'm going to do is copy these two polynomials without the parentheses. So I'm just going to go 4m squared plus 5 plus m squared minus m plus 6. Okay, step 1 done. Step 2, it says combine like terms. Okay, so I'm going to look for like terms, and remember when I do this, I'm just going to put change the coefficients but not change the exponents. So I'm looking for like terms. Now, I want to start with the stuff that's the highest exponent. So I'm going to go work with the highest exponent and then work my way down. That way I know it'll be in standard form. So let's see. I've got 4m squared, and this is a positive. Now, remember, if there's nothing in front, remember that's really a 1. So you might want to write that in there. So I have 4m squared plus 1m squared. That's 5m squared. Okay, so now, because I just combined those and that became this, I want to cross those out so I don't accidentally use that again. Now I'm going to look for m to the first power. Looks like I have one here. I'm going to use a different color. So I have this right here. Okay, so now I don't see any other m's, so I'm just going to copy this one minus m. Okay, and then lastly, I've got a positive 5 and 6. So 5 plus 6 is 11. It's going to be a positive 11, so I'm going to put plus 11. Make sure you have a plus or minus sign in between each term. Okay, so this is my answer. You need to make sure it's in standard form, right? It should be if you work with the highest degree terms and work your way down. So step 3 says make sure your answer is in standard form. So you want to double check. This has a degree of 2, 1, 0, right? Goes from the highest to lowest, so we're okay. So that would be my answer, and I'm done. Okay? Now you can do all one color if you want. Sometimes it's nice to see that just different colors if it's easier for you. However you want to do that. All right, part B. Okay, so I'm going to copy this without the parentheses. Okay. Now, we're going to combine like terms. So it looks like the highest exponent I see is 3. So I'm going to start with all my x to the thirds. Okay, so I have 10x to the third and a positive 2x to the third. So 10x to the third plus 2x to the third is 12x to the third. Remember, your exponents don't change, just the coefficients. Okay. All right, now let's go down to, we just did to the third power, so let's look for squares. I've got a square here. Now you'll notice it says plus a negative. I'm just going to use just the negative. You don't need to put them both in there, so just that one that's right next to it. So there's no other ones here, so we're just going to write minus 3x squared. Plus a negative 3x squared is the same as just minus 3x squared. Okay, so that is good. And now I've got that and that, x to the first power. Remember, this is really 1x, right? So what's 1x plus 8x? That gives me a positive 9x. So I'm going to write plus 9x. And this, I want to make sure it's in standard form, degree 3, 2, 1. Okay, so we're good, highest to lowest. So this would be my answer. All right. I guess I should remember at the end to cross out my last thing. Like these two I combined, these two I combined. So I crossing them all out. Okay. All right, so this one, lots of stuff going on. But once again, let's just follow these 3 steps. Drop the parentheses, combine like terms, and then make sure it's in standard form. Okay. So 6c squared minus 4c plus 3c squared plus 3c minus 8c squared minus 7c. Okay, now make sure you copy it correctly and then watch your signs. And okay, I'm going to look for the highest. Looks like squareds are my highest, right? So this time I'll use colors to just kind of make sure we see everything pretty well. So I've got this 6c squared plus 3c squared, and I got another one here, minus 8c squared. So you can type that into your calculator if you need. 6 plus 3 is 9, minus 8 is 1. So I get 1c squared or just c squared. So these 3 combine to be 1c squared, which we can just write as c squared. Okay, so now I've got, let's see, this and this and this. Okay, so negative 4 plus 3. Use your calculator if you have to. You can just type in negative 4 plus 3 minus 7. Matter of fact, I'll do that right now. Negative 4 plus 3 minus 7. Okay. Negative 4 plus 3 minus 7. I get negative 8. Okay, so this would be negative 8c. Okay, I've used all these terms. I can't put these together. They're not like terms. And there we go. We've got it. Okay, so that's how you do that. Let's try one more. Make sure we're good. So putting this all together, sometimes it could get, holy cow, look at all these things. It's okay. You just got to follow the steps and you'll be okay. All right. 5a to the third plus 3a squared minus 6a plus 12a squared plus 7a to the third minus 10a. Okay, highest degree, start with your highest exponent, work your way down. That way your answer will be in standard form. Okay, so I've got this and this. So 5a to the third plus 7a to the third would be 12a to the third. Those cancel. Okay, and then I've got squareds. I got 2 of those. 3a squared plus 12a squared would be 15a squared. And then negative 6 minus 10. Negative 6 minus 10 is negative 16. So I would have negative 16a. Okay, check to see if it's in standard form. This is 3, 2, 1. We're good. Highest to lowest. So this is my answer right there. And that is how you add polynomials. Okay. Your assignment is to do the Adding Polynomials worksheet. Make sure you write this into your student assignment book, your planner, into today's date. And then you can check it off once you've submitted it. All right, have a good one. Bye.